I have a Joseph Campbell quote here, and it reads, "If the path before you is clear, you are probably on someone else's." So can this also be applied to storytelling? So if the story you've begun writing is clear, it's probably already been written?
Yeah, that is one of my favorite quotes of Campbell. I'm a huge Joseph Campbell fan. I
think that was him.
That was it. Hey, Joe. Of course, that wonderful series, The Power of Myth, with Bill Moyers. That's on Netflix, I think.
Yes, I've watched it.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I love his style, too.
He was asked one time, he said, "Do you pray?" He said, "No, I read." He read 10 hours a day. He read thousands and thousands and thousands. He created his own field of study, I in my office, when I got my office at DePaul, the first thing I did was I put up on my whiteboard, "Follow Your Bliss," Joseph Campbell, and it's still there. Because I use that when I meet with my students. I want them to see that. And I start each class, I'll get to your question. I start each class with that point, follow your bliss. You may not hear anything else from my class that is of meaning to you or value to you, but this, find that thing that you're passionate about, that energizes you, that brings you joy, that you may have talent for, and do that. Whether it's an avocation or a vocation, do that, because that's the best chance you have at living an authentic life, of aligning yourself with something authentic in yourself. So the thing about the path, that's the point. My university students, given the economic considerations of where we are nowadays, they come in and it's like, I feel, I love writing, but, my parents want me to do this degree in accounting. And I say, okay, I understand it, in terms of the economic insecurity, and you're not guaranteed, a living in the arts. So maybe what you do is you do that accounting and you take this as a minor. And you're watching movies and TV and you're reading scripts and you're writing and you're doing it as an avocation. You're doing it because it brings you joy. But at least you're taking care of paying the bills. But at some point, you're going to probably have to come up to this point that Campbell said. The path that's laid out for you, the accounting path, that's probably not your path, at least creatively and spiritually. You're going to have to do something that incorporates this other path. Campbell talks about how that's the should. It's getting rid of the should, right? And pursuing that which is authentic to their bliss. So, yes. And I do think that that's the case where a lot of writers will look at things that sell. Like I would imagine now, there are probably lots and lots of scripts that have started to come in that have images and different font sizes and stuff, like A Quiet Place, because the movie did quite well, did over $300 million. And so you're having people emulating a style and a storytelling, a way of storytelling that may not be reflective of their voice. They may be more about imitating someone else. And so that's that question again. But it also relates to the protagonist. The protagonist starts off in a state of disunity. They are living on someone else's path. The path they need to be living on is the one they take on their journey. So that saying of Campbell has multiple levels of meaning. And I think it's a really profound insight. Jung, again, inspired Campbell. And Jung talked about the great, I can't remember the next word, not honor, but the great task of our existence is to become who we are. That it's already inside us and it needs to emerge. Campbell talks about the hero's journey being a journey not of attainment, but reattainment. So it's already there and it needs to be recaptured or captured. That path is where the protagonist goes to uncover that. And so, again, that comment from Campbell has got lots of layers of meaning to it. Yeah.
Why do you think Joseph Campbell resonated so much with Carl Jung and not Freud or Fritz Perls or some of these other?
Because the same reason, Freud was very reductive, and Jung was exactly the opposite, which is why he broke with Freud. He was an acolyte of Freud for a while. He saw the universe as being this wide open. His father was a minister, his grandfather was a minister. He thought about becoming a minister. He was very interested in spiritualism. He had a very open and profound appreciation for the wild divergence and diversity of human experience. And so Campbell was the same way. He came back after spending 4 or 5 years in Europe. I think he came back to Columbia, and they said, well, why don't you get a PhD, and you'll have this area, this specific area of focus. Your dissertation will be something with a colon, da-da-da-da, colon, da-da-da-da. And he said, no, I don't want to do that. For lack of a better word, he was a generalist. He wanted to explore the diversity of all these different cultures and all these different stories and look at them and find the universality through the specifics of those stories, which is how he came up with the idea of the hero's journey. So he and Jung were quite aligned in that regard. And in fact, Campbell edited a book on Jung. And heavily, again, if you read Jung, you'll see where Campbell got a lot of his ideas.
And by the way, that is an excellent interview with Bill Moyers. It's fantastic.
The Powers That Be? The Power of Myth? Oh, it's fantastic. At least watch the first episode where they talk about Star Wars,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because he gives a wonderful, I've got it on my blog, he's got a wonderful summary of the hero's journey, like about a 2-minute summary of it.
Right. And Bill Moyers was really the perfect counterpart to speak with him. They mesh so well.
He's a Baptist minister.
Ah.
And he was trying to wrap his head around these rather Eastern notions, Eastern, like Buddhist notions,
Sure,
that Campbell was heavily influenced by.